Ka ichung'na e tok bams ma kidonjo ngere mokwongo ni akaw gimoro kanyo. Sawa.
Wachunge ndara di.
Ha?
Wachunge ndara di.
Nade?
Apanga bangale wasapanga wasi.
Adwa kawo chak moro mbele. Akwaya.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. So thank you for joining this particular session. So as we continue to allow others to join, so I just want to remind us that this is the Advanced Excel Orientation class. So what I've displayed on the screen is just about the company, about Document Data, who we are, where we've started, and just to show you who we are as a company. You can see we started about 10 years ago, and we've been be able to do a number of projects, done a lot of trainings, and this is the kind of expertise we are bringing to the table. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can hear me well, and you can also see me. For those who, there are those maybe we have interacted. There are those maybe we have not interacted before. So my name is Simon, Asieno Simon. So I work with Doc and Data Consultant, DND, Doc and Data. You can see from the description on the screen, Doc and Data stands for documents and data. So 10 years ago, we saw a gap that needed to be filled with regards to documentations and data for various, entities, individuals, corporate. So that's what we do. We offer document and data solutions. So this is going to be an exciting and an interesting session. I'm going to answer questions. In case you have any question, feel free to ask so that we can be able to learn and explore. Okay. So again, I work with Doc and Data as a senior consultant and the lead trainer. So my role is to organize and ensure that we're able to deliver high quality programs. One of the areas that I train, and something that I've trained for a very long time, is Excel. It has been about 12 years training Excel to individuals and corporate. And I've also done a lot of projects when it comes to Excel. That is coming up with templates, training corporate. And for me, whenever I talk about a trainer, I always say an ideal trainer is somebody who has at least gone to the field. Somebody who at least used the tool in a more applicable way. Okay. So that is an ideal trainer, somebody who has applied that tool. Because you can know the theory, but there's now the application bit of it. So especially if somebody has handled projects, then it becomes very easy for them to be able to give realistic insights. Okay. So those are the kind of trainers that we have at our disposal. We have a number of programs, and we have specialists across. So today, I'm going to take you through one of my favorite tool, which is Excel, and I hope we will be able to make it as interactive. So maybe just to start, as we allow others to join. Normally, when I start the session, I always start by just doing an introduction. This particular session, we just want to get to know each other so that if we will be able to join the classes, then already we will have already known what is expected from us. And also as trainers, we also know what we are expected from us, what we need to do. Okay. So it is just a way to match the expectations so that the class can run a bit smoothly. So normally I do start with the introduction. And normally this is not mandatory. It is optional. So we normally start by just doing an introduction. I'll give you an opportunity. You say your name, what you do, if you're comfortable, what you do, or your professional background, your interaction with Excel. How is the interaction with Excel? What has been your experience with Excel? And then what is it that you'd expect if you were to join an advanced Excel program? What would be your expectations? Okay, so those are some of the things that we ask during, or that we give during presentation, so at least we can really help each other out in terms of preparing for the class. Remember, this is the orientation class. So As I've said, my name is Simon. My background is finance, management, and data. So I've combined those three areas. I've interacted with Excel for a very long time. I started teaching the version, I think 2007, 2010, up to now, we are in version 2024 of Excel. So I've trained a number of versions. Also, I've been able to handle international exams, such as the ICDL program, the MOS programs. So I understand how those curriculums, when it comes to office applications, how they work, how they are handled. And my expectation for such a class, oh, sorry, the other things is also I've handled a number of projects. I've trained so many corporates. I do a lot of corporate trainings during the day. I also handle projects, specific projects in Excel. So my expectation is that I will be able to share more knowledge, share insights with regards to this particular tool. Okay, so that is Simon. I'm the schedule trainer for the upcoming program, so I found it fit to just have these. So maybe I can give a few people an opportunity to introduce themselves. Not compulsory, but in case you'd want, feel free. In case you are not able to speak, maybe you're not in a position to speak, you can use the chat box. You can just type on the chat box, and then we'll be able to read out who you are and to introduce you. Okay. If you're again not comfortable talking, just say pass, and then we can. So from the list, I'm seeing we have, I think, just looking at those who joined early. Maybe Ibrahim, if you're in a position, feel free. Ibrahim Roba, if you're in a position, feel free. Most welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening too.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Yes, I'm a CPA Ibrahim Roba.
Yes.
I'm an accountant by profession.
Okay.
And I work for KEMSA.
Okay.
As a senior accountant.
Okay.
Yes, I have basic knowledge in exam, actually the basic.
Oh, the basic,
yeah, that's why I want to enroll for this advanced level, because I deal with a lot of data, data manipulation.
Oh, okay.
The system that we are using is ERP. So most of the decision we make through Excel. We have to export the data from ERP to Excel and manipulate the data from there.
Okay.
So it's very essential for me, this one.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ibrahim. Thank you for that. So I'm noting the expectations so that as I move forward, I can explain if we'll be able to meet these expectations. And I can also be able to advise at which level, for example, you need to join Excel. Is it the intermediate, advanced, the automated, or VBA, or script-based Excel? Or do you need now to go to the Power BI softwares? So I'll be able to advise on that. I see Ben. If you're okay, you can introduce yourself. If you're not okay, you can use the chat box again. Just your name, what you do, your interaction with Excel, and your expectations. Much welcome, Ben.
Hi, how are you?
Good. We're doing good.
Yeah, my name is Ben Aseka. I'm a statistician. I work with the county government of Kakamega as a senior statistician. Although I have basic knowledge in Excel, nowadays Excel is so advanced.
Yeah.
And I really wish to get the latest skills in terms of data management, of course, big data.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. I think you've mentioned a very good term, big data. So I'll talk about large data sets. I'll talk about large data sets, big data. As I take you through the course content, I'll be able to take you through. I can see somebody in the chat box. Good evening, I'm Monica. Good evening to Monica. Dennis, much welcome, Dennis. Feel free to introduce yourself. Let me see. I don't know, Dennis, if you're in a position to talk or you'll use the chat box. And then Dennis, are you in a position to do an introduction, Dennis Wambui, or you can use the chat box? Okay. Okay. Maybe let me pass the other person. Oh, Martin Mwange, are you in a position to do an introduction? Then we can start. Oh, Dennis, I think you've used the chat box. Martin, also, if you're not in a position to talk, you can use the chat box and then we can proceed. Dennis, I want to venture into business. That's what I'm looking forward to understanding. Okay. You want to venture into business. Yeah. But then if you're running a business and you want to minimize cost, system development cost, I mean, you can use Excel and you can manage an entire organization. I've worked in a farm where we were just using Excel templates and they were working pretty fine. Okay. Also, I've heard that you have an ERP, you get the data in form of Excel, then you manipulate it. So Excel is still very, 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 very powerful. Okay. So let me proceed. Thank you for the introductions. For those who have done the introduction, again, you can use the chat box to just do an introduction, which is still okay. So today I want us to talk about advanced Excel, and I want to go directly to the course outline. Okay. I hope I don't. Yes, I see somebody wants to talk. Okay. So nobody. So I want to go direct to the course outline. Oh, thank you, Martin. Martin Mwange, statistician, basic knowledge in Excel. Okay, thank you. Much welcome, Martin. So I want to go directly to advanced Excel so that we can really understand what is it that we are going to achieve. Okay. Now, like any other tool, Excel is more of an office application program. Okay. The Excel tool has been there. Actually, Excel was introduced back in 1984. That, if you look at the history of Excel, since 84, that is when Excel came about. Okay. Now, because of the it being there for a very long time, and the way normally Microsoft designed their product, it has really evolved to being one of the most powerful tool when it comes to data. Okay. And then for Excel, it is like a blank worksheet that you can customize, highly customize. Okay. So it is a tool that has been there. I mean, 1984, those are so many years, through all those evolution. Okay. Right now, we are talking about Excel version 2024. That is the latest version. Okay. For the training, by the way, in our class, we normally advocate at least have 2021, version 2021, or maybe 2024. 2024 is the recent one. So if you have 2021, that one will work very well with our course content, because our course content is a bit different. I've worked with other colleges, institutions. I've been a lecturer. I've trained these end user programs, the packages. So I know what content we are really delivering. Okay. Number one, the content that we are delivering is up to standard, up to the international standards. If you look at, for example, the ICDL advanced packages, they call it spreadsheets, the advanced spreadsheet programs, and you compare with our content matches that and goes beyond that. It goes beyond that in this sense. We try to make this not only just practical, but something you can also apply. Okay, something you can also apply. Okay. And I'm going to talk about how we deliver as I end the meeting. Now, let me not talk so much about the company. I think I've already displayed. You can get that information on the website. I just want to show you where you can get the course outline, the detailed course outline, so that you can see if you are to join the program Monday, Tuesday, what are you going to cover. And then I'm going to talk about what is to be covered in relation to what your expectations are, and also maybe to add also what more expectations or more things you should expect from this training. So if you go to the website, here where you have training, just click on training. So under the categories of the training, we have digital management and digital literacy programs. So just open that category of the training programs. Then scroll down. So there are a number of programs that we train on matters data. For today, what I want us to look at is down here, advanced Excel, the advanced Excel program. Okay, so just click on the product itself, just click on advanced Excel. Then it will open. So there's a lot of, there's a write-up here, which if you have time, you can be able to read it later on, more about the program. But for today, what I really want us to look at, if you scroll down, areas covered here. If you scroll down on that write-up, we have the training program outline, the training program outline. So it is just a link to a Google Drive where you can be able to read or to see the detailed course outline. So if you click this link, let me just open it in a new tab so that I don't close the website. Okay, so if you click the link, let me just click the link again. Yeah, so it opens or it takes you to the training program outline, the training program outline. So this is important because as much as we say we are training Excel, advanced Excel to be specific, the content breakdown and the way the content has been organized is very important when it comes to you as a participant, when it comes to now learning the content. Because if the content is not organized in a certain way, then it will not permit learning. Okay, you know, having been a teacher for some time or a trainer for some time, you're able to understand how to create content and set assessments. So the way we have organized the content is in a way that you'll be able to build from what you know to what you don't know. Okay, that technique of learning, we call it moving from the known to the unknown. That is the approach that we use, moving from known to the unknown. So we try to review what you already know, that is the basic Excel, like that, and then we build up from there, okay, or we add more. Known to an unknown technique, moving from what we know to what we don't know, okay? And that particular technique really helps because, and that's why I was asking, what was your interaction with Excel, or what has been your interaction with Excel? Because now I can advise and tell you, no, advanced, it is too much for you. This one, maybe to not. I've had students in class who join, then, no, this is not, it's too tough. Maybe I need intermediate to go and practice. I have never used functions before. I don't know how to nest the functions. I mean, this is too much for me. But if you want to know if advanced Excel is okay for you, one, either you've done an intermediate Excel program, that is one. Maybe this package is, at least you've worked in it, or on a daily basis you use Excel. You use the basic function sum. You type in content in a cell. You try maybe to analyze a few things here and there. At least if you've done that for a couple of years, it is okay. You can join the advanced Excel program. Okay, because in advanced Excel, the technique, even the technique of training is a bit different. Here we don't even have like slides. But they don't have slides where you can present, then you follow. No, there are no slides. Here what we do, I show you the concept, we open an Excel file, I show you the concept, we take a practice file, we apply what we have learned. And that is in each and every session. Now, this is how actually the sessions are organized before I even go deeper into the content. And I hope you can hear me. I hope you can hear me clearly. You can use the emojis. Now that we have technology to like or react to show that you can hear me. Yeah? I hope you can hear me clearly. Yeah, so I hope you can be able to hear me. Thank you, good, thank you. Now, this is how we have organized. You know, when you say advanced Excel, this is a advanced Excel is a program. Advanced Excel is a program that, to be honest, you cannot master it in 1 week. That I can assure you, if you get a training that is saying learn or master advanced Excel in 1 week, that is not factual. Okay, for me, it has taken me almost 12 years to become a pro in advanced Excel, to be able to handle data cleaning for large organizations. I've worked with GA Insurance, Britam, Furniture Dynamics. I've worked with so many companies, people doing data migration. You know, it has taken me 12 years of teaching people, practicing it, you know. So it will be a lie if somebody tells you 2-3 days you'll have mastered it, 1 week you'll have mastered it. No. Okay. So what we've done is I sat down and looked and created this content. It took me almost 3 years to just sit down and learn how to go about it. So what I did is I said, okay, people also need to cover things in a shorter time, but they also need to master the skills. So what I did is to understand the different tools that relate to each other. For example, 2 tools that can solve one problem. I identify them, put them together. Then tools that build on each other. So for example, you can see here we have part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. So part 1 is like week 1. Now week 1, we have session 1, session 2, session 3. Okay, and then each and every session is at least 2 hours. Not at least, at most 2 hours, because you know at the end of the day we have to ensure that people learn. Okay, so it is at most, just a minute. So the session is at most 2 hours, because there's another in scholarly articles. There's a theory from a scholarly person called Eberhinger. He's a German scholar who says that he talks about the theory of forgetting. So when you relate that theory of forgetting with learning, you realize that the time span people take to be attentive in class is a bit shorter. So if you really calculate very well the time that it takes for somebody to be attentive and to master a certain area, then it becomes okay, because now you can be able to understand how much content to give out. So we take 2 hours, and then within those 2 hours, there's a 15 minutes break, 15 minutes compulsory break. And then the first hour or the first 45 minutes, there's something we cover. After the break, that 45 minutes, there's something we cover. So it is extremely well thought out. So part 1, we have session 1, session 2, session 3. So normally in a week, we'll have a total of 6 hours. Okay, so that is maybe from 8 to 10. Then Monday, so that will be Monday 8 to 10, Tuesday 8 to 10, Wednesday 8 to 10. Then we have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to do practice. And within those days, as a trainer, I'm available full-time, anytime, to do more practice. To do more practice, to answer questions where you may need clarity, and to work on specific files. Because you see, sometimes the advanced Excel program will attract different people. Like for example, my previous class, the one that ended yesterday, I had 2 doctors. I had somebody from agriculture. I didn't even know he was from agriculture. And I had accountants, you know. So sometimes you have like this specific area that you would want to master, okay? So that extra time is for that, okay? Just a minute, plug in the laptop. 1 minute. Sorry, one of the backup laptop was off. So I was saying, we looking at the course content and the way we've designed it, it is very well calculated. So being able to just learn for a few hours, but to do more practice is very central when it comes to our training program. Okay, so the first week, that now is what we call part 1. So 1 week will have 3 sessions, and then I always highly encourage or insist that ask as many questions as possible. Okay, if you have your own files, your own things that you normally use at work, bring them. Let us try them out. Okay, let us try them out. Let us make sure that by the time you're leaving this particular program, you have already understood not just things that we learned in class, but also the work that you do on a daily basis. You can be able to apply the skills. Okay, so that is the intention, and that is one of the advantages that we have. You can be able to get extra support from the trainer. Actually, even if you want physical, you can walk to our training center here at Muthaiga. Just come, just tell me on Monday, are you free for like 1 hour? I can pass by. We do some computations here and there. We do that. All the classes, that's what we do. Okay, because for me, I believe if you can do something that is practical, it is good. But if you can apply it, then it is even much better. Okay, because I see one of the selling points of so many training firms is our course is hands-on. It's practical. Yes, it can be practical. You can't be hands-on, but you're not applying anything. So you need to apply. You need to make sure that once you finish it, then you can do something. Okay, you can apply it. So that is the focus, and that's why that is calculated like that. 3 sessions per week, and then now we have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Even Sunday, by there, I'm available for any revisions and any clarification and such. Now, let us now go to the content. Oh, before I go to the content, so we've seen we have part 1. Somebody else just joined. So you've seen part 1 means week 1. Part 2, week 2. Part 3, week 3. And then we have also part 4, which is week 4. And then when I started, I said each and every session is connected to the other. So we will start from what you already know. For example, if you look at part 1, session 1, other than the introduction, there's something we call referencing techniques. Referencing techniques is something you use on a daily basis. If you have used Excel anyway, when did you ever use Excel? You've typed in information, you copied the information. If you've just done that, then you have applied a slight percent of referencing technique. So now I'll move you from the basic referencing, which is relative, to absolute, to mixed, to 3 to D. Then I'll show you now, okay, this is how we can apply. And then if you look at part 1, we have referencing techniques, okay, the one that I've just highlighted. Referencing technique, mixed cell referencing, it is a type of referencing. It is very much associated with data tables in the what-if analysis command. Okay, so you see referencing techniques, mixed cell, the mixed cell type of referencing technique, and the what-if analysis data tables. There are 2 different commands, 2 different techniques, but they can be able to achieve the same what? Or they can be able to solve the same solution, or to solve the same problem and give you a solution. But you can use them in different times. Okay. Okay, there's somewhere you'll apply Mixtel, there's somewhere you'll apply data tables. So these are the insights that I will now share in class. Okay, so that is session 1. If you go to session 2, so week 1 is more of working with the data set. So that is capturing the data, regulating what is captured in the data. That's where we have here data validation and the conditional formatting. Okay, so referencing techniques. When you copy the data, you want to replicate the data. We talk about referencing techniques. Then you want to control how somebody will capture the data, or you want to regulate data so that you remove a lot of data cleaning. That's why we have data validation and we have conditional formatting. Okay, and then remember formatting. I always say in class that formatting is enhancing or changing the appearance of the cells and not changing the content of the cell. So the appearance of the cell, the validation. So that's where we have conditional formatting. We have custom number formatting. Remember, Excel is a spreadsheet. It focuses on the data, the numbers. So custom number formatting is very, very important to have such a session. And if you take note, after each and every session, we have practice files, case studies, reviews, and takeaways. So it is important. After every part, there is something for us to practice on. Now, this will build in part 2. Part 2, so part 1 will look at more of data entry, formatting, controlling what is being captured. Then we'll move to part 2. Part 2 now, something very interesting is this on advanced filter. If you've ever used advanced filter, you know how powerful this tool is, the advanced filter. Okay, and as I had mentioned earlier on, different techniques. Okay, but they may be able to give us different outputs. For example, the advanced filter can help us extract distinct, unique lists. Okay, the advanced filter can help us to extract distinct, unique list. But with advanced filter, you cannot extract unique, non-distinct. The tool that can be able to do that is conditional formatting. And you can see here, part 1, session 2, unique, non-distinct. So you want to extract, for example, a list of all the people who work in your company. Maybe you've been recording transactions of clients, but you do not have a list of the clients. So you might want a list of the unique list of the clients. That is now what we term as distinct, unique list. So you will use the advanced filter command. When you want to, for example, extract a list of transactions whereby clients have interacted with you once, so they've ever only maybe purchased from you once or interacted with you once, you will use this one, unique, non-distinct. Unique. So you see, we have conditional formatting. I know conditional formatting, we know the formatting, the painting, but there's extra. There's more to that, which is unique and distinct. So these are the techniques that I share with you. And then, of course, we use practice files to now see these in application. Okay. So week 2, which is part 2, we will not only look at moving data using the advanced filter, we will also get into one of the most interesting tool in Excel, and that is the Power Query Editor. I don't know if you have used Power Query Editor. If not, then you have never used Excel. Okay, on a light note, it is as if you've never used Excel. If you don't use Power Query Editor, then it is like you've never used what? Excel. Because the Power Query Editor is the ultimate tool that is used for data transformation. Data transformation. So data transformation is the process of so we normally have 3 types of data transformation: constructive, destructive, and aesthetic. All this is in Excel, by the way. The 3 types of data transformation, which are handled by the Power Query Editor. So we'll talk about how to clean data, how to work with different data sets, different types of data sets, okay? Different types of data sets. How do we, for example, merge data sets? How do we split columns with different, issues? How do we remove duplicates? And by the way, this one I cannot miss saying, duplicates. When you give somebody data, and one of the issues that really come into play when you're analyzing data is where you have duplicates. Systems can give you duplicates. When you give people a form to go and fill, they're likely to be duplicates, the human errors. So the Power Query editor, you can put a query that will automatically remove duplicates, so that when you do your analysis, the analysis is clear, is clean. Okay, you do not have a summation where there are figures that are exaggerated, and then you don't need to manually do the data cleaning or removing the duplicates and such. Okay, so it's a very powerful tool. Actually, I normally spend a lot of time here, okay, on the Power Query editor, okay, because we'll talk about text to columns. Even this text to columns is still under Power Query editor. So there's like a command text to columns in Excel, but the same command is in Power Query editor. So I'll take you through that. I'll show you what data sets are, how to merge, how to append queries. What else? How to clean the data, how to split what we call unstructured data sets. I mean, there's a lot of things in my mind that I would really want we learn. So this is what I've actually put together for us to learn. And then the last session, which is session 3, this is more of a quick report using the subtotal command. So there's something in subtotal command that people normally miss. Okay, so you want to summarize data very fast and create a chart and share. So normally we use the subtotal command, but now you need to use the subtotal command and the go to special. So the go to special will help you to select what is visible but not captured. So there's some interesting technique there for you to create quick reports, charts, summaries very fast. Okay. Now, part 3. So you see, part 1, we've captured the data, we've regulated the data. Part 2, we have cleaned data, we have moved the data. Oh, and by the advanced filter is a powerful copy and paste. It's a very powerful copy and paste. It can move very huge data sets. So when you talk about big data, so the advanced filter can be able to move huge or voluminous data sets, and also can give you summaries and a number of things that it can do. Okay. Now, so part 2, we have cleaned the data, we have moved data. Part 3, we now get into analysis using the functions. Okay, functions are used for somehow to do the manipulation. You want to get the sum, the average, the rank. You want to sum items, sum product. You want to sum if conditional. But in advanced Excel, the focus should not be learning formulas. No, learning formulas, you can even go to YouTube and you learn formulas. That is easy. You can just go and type, how do I use the right function? How do I use the left function or the LEN function? You can type that and you get the information. So the focus in advanced Excel is nesting functions. Nesting functions. And now where do you apply these nested functions? Because that is now, you do the analysis, and then now where do you apply? Okay. So nesting functions, you can see part 3, session 1, the type of functions here, the one I'm highlighting, len and left or right, day and month. Okay, and there's a reason as to why session 1, part 3, we only have date and text. Everything is well thought out. Part 3, session 2, logical lookups. And then the last session, mathematical and statistical. Very important, because text and date, there's no data that will miss text. You have to write someone's name, their age, date of transaction. Those things have to be there. So date and the text are important, especially dates. But if there is something that can really eat your mind when it comes to data cleaning and analysis, is dates. Sometimes you can download from a system and then those dates are not changing. Or maybe they are in a certain crazy format that you cannot even alter. So those are the things we tackle with the date functions. And also, of course, the Power Query can also help with cleaning the data. So nesting functions. For example, you want to count how many words are in a cell. You can't use like one function. You have to combine you have to combine len, substitute, and trim. So interesting things, len and trim, then len and substitute. I know maybe they might sound, what are these? Is this person talking about len, left, substitute? They're just functions combined. And again, as I've said, from known to unknown. So I'll show you how to do the functions. I'll show you how left is used. Then I'll introduce you to the different functions up to the most complicated ones. If it is nesting functions, I'll nest 2 of them because you can nest up to 45, even more than 40 functions to achieve something. There's a World Bank project I was working on a data set. So they wanted to achieve a very specific item on one of their components. For those who understand the donor-funded projects. So there was a very specific item on the component that they wanted to display on the worksheet. I can tell you, we were able to write a very big nested function that could be able to achieve that. So it was a combination of the logical functions, the text, it was interesting. So a nesting function is what we focus in Advanced Excel. So we'll talk about nesting, date and text. We'll talk about nesting, logical and lookup. Now, if there's a session that I always don't like people to miss is part 3, session 2. Logical and lookup, you should not miss that one. And that is why we need 2021. You need the software, the Excel software that you should be using at least 2021. Have a desktop application. You might have 365, but it is also good you have the application. And a good thing is that in case you join the program, we'll be able to, if you do not have the software, we'll be able to give that support for free without extra cost. So we'll make sure you have all the softwares in order. Okay. So there are some new functions in version 2021 and 2024 that are interesting. The XLOOKUP. I don't know how many have interacted with the XLOOKUP. It is interesting. I mean, there are things, if you ask any accountant or any profession to search something, they'll tell you, oh, use VLOOKUP. Use VLOOKUP, just VLOOKUP for it. We have already moved away from VLOOKUP. Yeah? We went to index match. We have moved from index match. Now we are in XLOOKUP. So if you want to be, a pro, a leader in, using or smart in using Excel, we are not talking about the XLOOKUP, the XMatch, using the LET function, this LET, also a nice function. And there's something we talk about defining variables. So if you're nesting very huge functions, it can help you to reduce the hugeness of the functions nested. So it's a newer function. Okay? But right now, XLOOKUP, how do you nest XLOOKUP? But then you can multi-search. You can search here, this column, this column, this column. If they match, they return something. XLOOKUP can be able to do that. And these are some of the things we show you. And then also something that I noted, sometimes maybe you have a client, because sometimes you might get projects from outside. So you have a client or maybe somebody shares a file or they ask you to go to the office to work on a file. Maybe it is not the most updated version. And it does not have the XLOOKUP or the XMatch. So that's why index and match is still here. Index and match is still here. So that in case you get a lower version of Excel, you can use index and match in place of the XLOOKUP. But if you have the newer versions of Excel, you can still thrive using the XLOOKUP. So you can do even more. Something about the XLOOKUP, there's the search mode. Let me not get into feel like I'm training, but there's something called the search mode. You can actually set one of the variable or set one of the arguments so that you can search from or you can ask it to search from to search for you the last entry of a specific person. Okay, so you see when you keying in data, maybe you've keyed in data for Simon, and then you've keyed for other people, then again Simon, then for other people. So if you want the last entry that was for Simon, XLOOKUP can do that. It has the search last to first mode setting, okay, plus other settings. So it is an interesting area. And then this part 3 or week 3 will help us now get into or to dive deeper into data analysis. For now, to start even understanding data analysis expressions, we get into mathematical and statistical, important count. We'll also look at, so we want to predict the future. So we have those functions, correlation, regression. So we'll be able to do them here under the statistical. Okay, and actually the ones for the regression, we'll do them as we visualize the data, because you want to see maybe trends of, when you're doing the visualization. So part 3 is more of a analysis, using functions that you can see. We've given it a whole week just to do the functions, because once you are good in functions, then the other things now are just to build up. And then now part 4. So part 4, once we've done the functions, okay, we've mastered functions, we know how to work with different arguments, we know how to nest different functions in different arguments, then now we move to using what we call the Power Pivot. So Power Pivot is the tool that will help you, 1, to do the data modeling, 2, to do or to use data analysis expressions. Okay, it will introduce you to data analysis expressions. Data analysis expressions involve formulas, functions, and other items for the purposes of analysis. So we'll talk about calculated columns. We'll talk about date tables. We'll talk about time intelligent functions. Okay, you want to represent data on a quarterly basis. So there's that time intelligence. And then we'll also look at pivot tables, because Power Pivot works very well with the pivot tables. Okay, so once we do use the Power Pivot for data modeling, the data analysis, to go deeper into data analysis, calculated columns, and date tables, then we will start doing the analysis and the visualization. That's when the pivot table comes here. We summarize. Pivot tables are used for summary, to create summaries. So you can create one table from multiple data sets. So we learn these are the different types of data sets. Okay, so how can you create a visual from these multiple data sets? So we use pivot table for the purposes of summaries, and then now we get into charts. So we'll see how charts link to the pivot tables. We'll see how, so the charts are linked to the pivot tables. The pivot tables are linked to the Power Query. So the Power Pivot is linked to the Power Query and the formulas. So there's that connectedness in terms of how the content is structured. So that part 4, session 2, I tell you what charts are. Of course, because this is advanced Excel, we will not show you, this is a chart. This is how you create a chart. No. We'll look at things like combo charts. We look at regression charts. We look at trend analysis charts. Things that are advanced. So somebody asked me, but as a Mwalimu now, what if just I've not used the charts? What do I do? Then I told them, don't worry. We normally have a study book. Okay, so the study book, it's a book that we have prepared where you can read some of the other things. For example, if you just want to know how to prepare pivot charts, you want to read ahead of the teacher. We don't call ourselves teachers, trainers, because we don't really teach, we train. We train the skills. So you want to go ahead and read in advance. So there's a lot you can be able to pick from the study book that we give. So for the charts, we look at the charts. Then I tell you, okay, we have looked at charts. Now let us look at visualization. What are visualizations? So these are visualizations. What are the steps of preparing a visual? These are the steps. Okay, so we have learned. Let us prepare. what are dashboards? Oh, so these are dashboard, okay. You see, we'll start from charts, what you know, to visualization techniques and the process and the do's and don'ts, then to the dashboards. The other things like paginated reports. Dashboards are just reports. They're still part of reporting. But now we have paginated reports. How do you create paginated reports? So those things are important. Because I hear everybody saying, no, I want to know how to do dashboards. That is something we need to learn. So we'll get deeper into visualization. And then as we finalize the last day, we normally do use the macro and introduce you to the Visual Basic interface, okay, the VBA interface. So the VBA is like the Power Query and the Power Pivot. Yeah, so it is another just interface to help us to automate. So, but in case you want to get into the deeper expert level of automation, again, there's another course for that. Wow. So I hope I've been able to dig and in this particular content, so that at least when you get into class, you know what you're expecting. So there's a workbook, or there's a study book. There are practice materials. There are assessment materials. Assessment materials now are the application files. There's the extra time or extra free consultancy that you can get with the trainer at your convenience. What else? There's the software support. I mean, there's a lot that you can get in these classes, because what we want in this 1 month, by the time we are doing the last session, part 4, you are good. You've done enough practice, because of course I believe you're not blank. There is something you already know. So you've done enough practice and you have perfected and mastered it. With the distribution of the course content and the workbook, the practice, I mean, all these things combined, then I believe you'll be able to become a pro in Advanced Excel, and you'll be able to look at it. And then, of course, once you finish, we normally have certificates award ceremony. So we normally have that meetup at our office here in Muthaiga. We award people their certificates. We normally have a good moment. We will share them. They will share some of the pictures of the recent one in our professionals group. So make sure you join the professionals group if you have not joined. We are going to share some of the recent photos of people having a very good time, and also people just talking about what they have experienced in this particular program. So that is it. I think I'll stop at that, unless there's a question that is burning. Let me know. This class was supposed to start this week, Monday, but because I had another class which was ending Wednesday, it disrupted. And of course, other requests, there are some other people who had requested we start next week, Monday, so that we accommodate. So join, register. Our classes, at least we accommodate at least a maximum of 6 per class. A maximum of 6 per class, 3 to 6. A small number, so that for the purpose of quality, and also because there's that extra time, so that we can also give enough time for each and every person. So if you want, you can reach out to Samantha. I think she has been posting some things on the chat box. If you'd like to reach out with more, Monday 11th, Monday 11th, 8 p.m., 8 to 10, 2 hours. And then if you're joining the class, please let me register with Samantha. Then we will add you to the group. We have now a group for the class. So once you join the group, I will share the materials. And then if you want the support for the software and just to prepare, so we need to do that before Saturday or Sunday there, so that during class the class can start without any interruptions. So the earlier the better, so that we can assist. So that Monday, if you are starting, we start very well. I think with that, I'll leave it at that. I had one of the testimonials I wanted to show. One of the CPAs. But I think we will share this in the professional group. We'll share this, the photos, everything in the professional group that we have on WhatsApp. You'll be able to meet them, meet the photos there. So thank you. Unless there's a question, any question that you may have, feel free. Any question that you may have. I hope it has been insightful.
Yes. What I wanted to ask,
Yes, please.
For demonstration, are we going to have the whiteboard on the screen?
So what we normally do. Oh, thank you for asking that. I think there's something I needed to mention. So by the way, when you get into an online class, especially for practical online classes, always make sure you have at least 2 screens. One for practice, maybe have a laptop for practice, and you can have your smartphone or maybe a tablet. Put it there so that you can follow as you practice. Yeah, it is normally easy. Because we will be you see the way I'm displaying the course outline, I will also be displaying the full Excel worksheet. Then I do the practice. Then I do the practice as you follow. You can follow, then do the practice later. So we have 45 minutes of training, a break of 15, you do the practice. 45 minutes of training, another break, you like that. Hope I've answered your question. So I see Dennis Wambu, you're asking what about someone who has not engaged Excel. What you can do, I don't know how far you've used. Have you ever used Excel? I don't know if Dennis, you're here. You can maybe clarify. I've not engaged with Excel. What should I do? Maybe you can reach out. I can advise it. But what I normally say, just get into the class. Remember, the technique is known to unknown. So you can join into that class. Unless you want to start from the intermediate. Intermediate is very basic. I think advanced would be better. Just join the advanced. If you feel it is a bit tough, you can always go back. Yeah, we can always reverse the money and you get into the intermediate and you do the intermediate, then you upgrade. Okay. So there are those options. You can get into advanced. If you feel, this one is not, it is too complex. I've never used Excel. You can start with the intermediate then. So we can allow you get into the class and then you see. Okay. So that is for Dennis. So I think I'll stop at that.
Just on that, the basics,
Yes.
The intermediate,
Yes.
Maybe for some of us who have a slight knowledge of Excel.
Yes.
Can you share with us a material so that we can go through the material on our own?
On the which one? On the basic,
Yeah, on the basic, yeah.
So the book, you remember I've said there's a study book,
Yes.
So the study book, the way it has been created, it covers everything. It has the basic and the advanced. So once you join the advanced, you'll be able to access the workbook, the study book, and you can now even go through the materials at your free time.
Okay, thank you.
Because the basic, you're only taught how to create a new workbook. What else? Saving a workbook, typing in a cell. Those are the things that you do, which I believe they're still very basic. But the books are there. We will share. Okay, we'll share those materials. Yeah. Any other question? Okay, thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing you in class on Monday. Let us prepare in advance, get into the group. Let me add you so that you can access the materials, so that on Monday we start the class in a more seamless way. So thank you so much, and be blessed. Have a good evening. Make sure to go to the website and look at the course outline. Again, you just go to the website where we have the Advanced Excel program. Under the Data Digital Literacy, scroll down and you'll find the program outline here. So thank you so much. Have a good evening. And in case of any... Yes, Joseph?
So just to inquire, I joined late.
Okay.
I wanted to just to understand the requirements.
For the
registration is how much? How is the fee?
okay. Samantha will be able to answer that. But if you look at the website,
Yeah.
The course is 18,750. So normally the standard we ask you to just pay a deposit and then you can pay the rest later on. So 50%, I think 60 or 50%. And then you just join and then now you can. But the right person to talk to is, I don't know if you are talking to Samantha. She's the one now in charge of the payments and the bookings. Yeah, so she can be able to. You can be able to discuss more on the payments, the payment plans, all those matters. Sometimes I can say 60%. Maybe she has her own discounts because she's in charge of the sales and the registration. Yeah. So for my side is more of the training and the delivery and ensuring content is delivered properly.
So what's the window period of the training?
So we are starting on Monday, and it is going to take for like a month. So even if you pay in installment, you still have time to. I've seen people paying on a weekly basis. Different. There are those who pay full amount. It depends. Once you talk to Samantha, she'll be able to have that discussion. But I know there's a deposit you pay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Much welcome. So just make sure you join the class. Make sure I'll try to take care of people so that at least she can allow people to join. At least for trainers, we are happy when we see people in class. That's what excites us. But for them, Kina Samantha, for commercial reasons, of course, they have to make sure things are okay financially. So she'll be able to sort that. I think if you look at the chat box, she has pinned a message there on the class. If you'd like to hear more, yeah, let me post it a bit. Yeah, so if you'd like to hear more, so there's that information in the chat box. You can be able to call her. I think the number is 0790. Yeah, I think it is there. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. I look forward to having an amazing session from Monday.
Well, before we close, my last question.
Yes.
If for physical class.
Yes.
I think Samantha told me that there's a Saturday weekend class on Saturdays.
Oh yes. Okay. By the way, we have so 8 to 10. That is the Monday to Wednesday, 8 to 10. That is online. 6 to 8. Monday to Wednesday it is physical, or you can do Saturday from 8:30 to 2 there. Physical class. So if you are within Nairobi, that is possible because we are located at Muthaiga Suits. You can be able to come for the physical classes. We have some training areas there. Okay. So we have those options for the physical class. 6 to 8 physical class, and then Saturdays. If you want to join the Saturday, a physical class. So whichever is convenient, but 8 to 10 is the one that is online. So I hope I've answered your question. Any other questions?
Yes. Good night.
Thank you, and have a good night. Have a good night, people. Thank you. Stay blessed. Let us meet on Monday. Thank you.